Hi guys, it seems Keir Starmer may have breached the ministerial code over clothes. Yes, a huge donor to the Labour Party, Baron Ali, has given the Prime Minister multiple pairs of glasses, work clothes and accommodation. These are all registered under Keir Starmer's financial interests on the Parliament website. While this does sound strange, it's all above board. However, the Prime Minister may be in a spot of bother over his wife receiving donations from the multimillionaire. Foreign Secretary David Lammy was asked about this, and it resulted in a bit of a car crash interview. Have a listen.
He's then gone back to the Parliamentary Commissioner to clarify whether a further declaration should be made, and that is now happening. So this is not a transparency issue. It's actually the Prime Minister seeking to comply with the rules, which is, and we all do that, we all do this, full transparency. I got a donation and this is what I used it for.
But you understand the politics and the way that this looks. £19,000 of worth of frocks for the Prime Minister's wife, similar sum on the Prime Minister's own suits. The man makes 160 grand. Should this really be what politicians do? I take it you buy your own suits.
My suit's
it's a lovely suit.
My suit's TM Lewin.
OK.
But no.
Other manufacturers are available.
Seriously, look, I think Wahid Ali has been in the Lords for certainly over 2 decades. He is a self-made millionaire that has been a supporter and a donor to the Labour Party over successive leaders and prime ministers. So that really isn't anything new, and his commitment to support the Labour Party is long-standing over many.
But you know what I'm saying? Whatever the truth of it, for many people who don't live in these circumstances, don't see things in a way that you do, it feels a bit odd.
I recognise that, but I also recognise that in our country, there isn't a budget for the Prime Minister's clothes or his wife's clothes. In some countries, there's a substantial budget. I've just come back from America where there is a substantial budget to ensure that the US President and the First Lady, their appearance can never be challenged. That is not the case in our country. So it is the case that successive leaders of the opposition wanting to represent the country on an international stage and prime ministers have used donors to fund that budget. That is the truth of it.
This is insane. And it's a terrible way to respond to this, to say, look, we've had to rely on donors to fund our clothing, to provide us with clothing, provide us with suits. Look, I did a bit of research into this. MPs cannot claim clothing as an expense, as a parliamentary expense. So they have to buy their own suits, or they have to have the suits provided by somebody, maybe a donor or someone like that. But this is insane. Wouldn't it make sense for the Prime Minister's office to have a budget, a separate budget, for example, for clothing? That the Prime Minister is given suits. It's a limited budget. They're not going to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on suits, shouldn't be allowed to do that. But there should be a budget for the Prime Minister to buy suits. Or if it's not going to be the Prime Minister, maybe the political party can provide the MP or the Prime Minister with suits. The political parties have a significant amount of money. I think they can afford to splash out on a suit from time to time. But to rely on donors is insane. And to try and defend the reliance on donors is even more insane, because it creates a terrible optic. It creates this image in the people's minds that, oh look, we have this guy who's donating to the Labour Party or donating to the Conservatives, whatever way it may be, and they're giving suits, they're giving sunglasses, they're giving handbags, they're giving all sorts of things to the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's wife. So what are they getting in return? Because people are not going to give stuff for free in the sense that they want something in return. Now, it may not always be the case, but generally that's how the donations work, or corruption works. So if it's a problem for Keir Starmer to buy suits, which is a strange situation to be in, but if it is a problem, then set up a budget within the ministerial office to cover suits. And if you don't want to do that, then at least get the political party to provide suits for the Prime Minister or the ministers. Look, Keir Starmer can put his hand in his pocket and buy a suit. He's not that poor. But if it is an issue of that, then get the political party to do it, or add something to the ministerial budget, or change the rules for Parliament where MPs can actually claim, up to a certain limit, the cost of a suit. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.